بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين وعلى أصحابه بجهدهم قام هذا الدين رضي الله عنهم أجمعين ثم ما بعد. Today we want to entertain the ways in which the student of knowledge should approach study, given the fact that the topic itself is quite vast. It's important to comprehend the concept of graduality. When we look at the seerah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his biography, we learn a number of lessons. But the lesson which is most beneficial to the student of knowledge in the beginning stage, in the middle stage, and even in the advanced stage is that we learn in a practical, clear, and systematic manner how it was that the Quran was revealed and how that revelation unfolded and was able to transform a people. The life of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam serves as an integrating circle of knowledge, which allows us to gather what is scattered and develop a system of understanding, which makes learning simple. Knowledge is for practice. And this is what we see in the life of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Knowledge that is practiced should have an impact on our lives and on the community that we live in. In other words, the quality of life should increase, predicated upon that practice which is based or grounded or rooted in knowledge. The Quran as the central document, as the speech of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, as the central document which the Muslims concentrate their learning and understanding upon, was revealed gradually. And there was wisdom in the graduality of revelation manifested. Graduality allowed for understanding. Graduality allowed for practice. Graduality allowed for comprehension and memorization, which gave birth to understanding. That understanding was one which was not intellectual, but married to practice. So that the Muslim, upon studying an ayah of the Quran, comprehended the ayah, understood its contents, its language, its demands, and practiced that ayah and understood at another level of what it means that the Quran has transformative power. So it's important for the student of knowledge then to approach learning in a gradual manner. Because the learning that we engage in Islamic knowledge, the learning which we entertain, the learning in which we pursue is a learning that we desire so that our lives could be changed. And in that process, we grow intellectually. And in that process, we grow emotionally. And in that process, we grow spiritually. But we should approach knowledge as students of the Quran and the Sunnah with such a mind that we understand graduality being the key to mastery and to practice. And when that graduality is absent in our approach to knowledge, we'll find that we are not established on a firm foundation. So the ascent that knowledge requires, because after all, we're aiming towards things unseen, towards qualities which are intangible, to being just, to being loving, being forgiving, being patient. These are qualities which are intangible in and of themselves. You can't feel them, you can't touch them. But you know when they are absent. So knowledge is a path of ascent in which we're constantly aiming higher. We're constantly aiming to grow, to go beyond our egos and self. And this cannot take place if we don't approach the ocean of knowledge gradually. The best imitation, as far as principle is concerned, is to imitate the principles that govern the manifestation of the Quran itself. Because after all, it was the Quran which founded the first community in such a way that they were able to change their lives and see that impact in their lives. See that the Quran and Islam are very relevant to the human condition, to transforming family life and interpersonal relationships. So it's important then that we understand the principle of graduality and put it into practice without being fanatical about it. So we study one lesson at a time, one book at a time, and we try to grasp the context of that text, that focus in an age in which distraction has become commonplace in practice, even a state of mind. Distraction being, in some cases, the state of ADHD. When distraction becomes a state of mind, then we have to simplify. And here we take a lesson from the Mauritanians, in that, yes, the desire and aspiration increases and aims high, but here the key is to aim high by being focused. so that we can travel in our ascent one level at a time and achieve great heights. So we study every section of a book that is in our possession that should be grounded in a curriculum. And that's for another discussion, the importance of curriculum and the path of knowledge. And each text we should take and study it, aiming at mastery. Although mastery can be measured in a number of different ways, but aiming at mastery. Studying that text one section at a time, one chapter at a time until we master its contents, at least in outline form. Even if we're not able to expand or build on that outline, at least know how many chapters are in the book of fiqh, how many chapters are in the book of aqidah, what are the titles of those chapters, so that the outline of that text that you are studying is clear in your mind. And that outline, once it's filled in, indicates to the mastery of the contents. So that if you were to be asked how many sections are in the book of purification, you will be able to detail how many sections are in that book and what are the topics according to title. We're not talking about according to depth. We're just saying to understand the structure of the book. Perhaps even memorize the structure of the book, which is an easier task to accomplish versus trying to memorize the whole book. And with repetition will come familiarity, and with familiarity comes mastery. But our students are not focused, and our approach is not focused. And this is one of the great mishaps of the age, one of the great harms which we see in our community and in ourselves, that we're not focused. So focus and graduality will birth understanding and practice based on the Quran. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa ala ashabihi. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.